Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, and this is the meeting of the Acushnet Board of Selectmen. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, do I have a motion to open the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Gentlemen and residents of Acushnet, I'm going to start this meeting out on a somber note tonight. I'd like to recognize the passing of a town employee here, Jessica Rigo. She was a 3-year employee who worked as senior clerk in the accounting department. Jessica was 34 years old. She had a husband and a 3-year-old son. She was diagnosed with cancer about a year ago, and she succumbed to the disease. And I'd like to take a few moments of silence in her remembrance. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, under old business, first we have a fire assessment job posting, and gentlemen, I'd like to ask that we can make a motion to table this at this time.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second, under old business, we have, as you remember, back, I would say, a couple months ago, or 6 weeks ago, we appropriated money for Slocum Street speed signs for both directions. We had a couple of gentlemen here, and we talked to the police chief, and we went through the whole matter. But it comes out that with $5,000, we need to appropriate $5,000 more to complete the purchase of these signs. So, gentlemen, do I have a motion to appropriate $5,000 as a reserve fund transfer for Slocum Street speed signs?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. New business. I'm going to move things around a little bit here, and we have Ed Isaac from the golf course. I'd like to move him up front so we can
Very good.
get out. And Ed, how are you today?
I'm fine, yourself?
Doing very well, thank you. I see we have, let me get to it. We have a request for leasing some new equipment.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, very good.
Just in summary, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that golf participation continues to be strong, and we anticipate that revenues in FY '23 to be another banner year. The bad news is that delivery times for getting replacement of mowing equipment is becoming a problem. The golf equipment manufacturers are informing customers that equipment ordered in November of this year can anticipate delivery no sooner than August or September of 2022. Therefore, the golf committee at our November 18th meeting voted unanimously to request that the Board of Selectmen authorize placing an order now, this November, for 4 replacement vehicles that are critical to maintaining turf quality. The 4 vehicles are: 1, a greens roller for $15,417, a greens mower with reels for $63,983, a walk-behind greens mower 26-inch for $16,400, and a fairway mower for $61,897. Total capital cost of $157,705. At this time, the cancellation of the January 10th, 2002 town meeting and the long equipment lead times, the golf committee anticipate entering a 5-year lease of roughly $34,734 per year, starting in FY '23 to purchase this equipment. A prime example is that in May of this year, your board authorized purchasing a greens mower, which we anticipate was to be delivered of it in September of this year, got postponed till December, and we're now being told it won't be until April of next year. So it's important that we try to get our orders in as soon as we can.
Mhm. Mr. Gaspar or Mr.?
Makes sense to me.
Mr. Isaac, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Isaac, so the 157,705, are you saying that you want to go out for a 5-year lease in the amount of 34,734 per year?
It looks like it won't become available until the equipment until next August or September, so it's kind of in line for the FY '23, and as we go through the budgeting process, it should fit in.
The question is the 157,705 for the 4 pieces of equipment.
Yep,
Is it the 34,743?
right, correct. Roughly 3,093 annual.
So would that
expenses.
include some lease, some percentages of lease? Because that comes out to 5 years on that sum of money, comes out to 173,715. So there's got to, from 157, so there's
Right.
about $20,000 somewhere around there in fees.
Well, it's 3,193 per year, roughly 15,000, you're right, for 5 years.
Okay, so the rest is from interest rates.
Right, correct.
Okay. So, is there a dilemma with, are you saying that you don't have it in your budget, or you do have it in your budget, Mr. Isaac, to fund this 35?
We're anticipating putting in the FY '23 budget.
Okay, so nothing from this calendar
No,
year's fiscal
nothing
year
finished.
budget? Okay, all right. So, that's it?
Do we have a motion to approve the lease of these 4 vehicles?
4 pieces of equipment, so moved, as presented, so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Very good. You're welcome.
Mr. Isaac, just keep in mind, I ran a report from town meeting, from the town accountant's office, and you have roughly $36,000, 36,324 available through articles that haven't been expended.
Somewhere in that area, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have that money that's available if you need to
Right.
make purchases for capital equipment. That's what the articles were for.
Right.
Okay, boss?
Very good,
All
thank
right,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye. Yep.
Doing it right.
We did, yep.
All right, buddy.
Very good. Okay, next on the new business, seems that town has received the Cyber Awareness Community Award. The Baker Polito administration recognized 34 municipalities and public school districts from across the Commonwealth as cyber-aware communities at a virtual event hosted during National Cyber Security Awareness Month by the Executive Office of Technology Services and Security, and featuring local and state cybersecurity leaders. Those recognized were the top performing participants in this year's round of Municipal Cybersecurity Awareness Grant Program. So, the town received this award. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, I'll read it. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts recognizes your achievement as a cyber-aware community through your demonstrated commitment to employee cybersecurity awareness training and endpoint security for the town of Acushnet.
Motion to place on file.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next on the new business, we have a resignation letter from IT Director Chris Oliver. And I'm going to read this out for Chris. It's addressed to us here at the chair, Jennifer Dowling, Chair of Acushnet School Committee. As a follow-up to my resignation letter dated November 12th, 2021, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank the school committee and the Board of Selectmen for your support and kind words over the past 14 years. While I have accepted a position in another municipality, I truly enjoyed my tenure in Acushnet, as well as the experience I have gained. I'm extremely proud of the many capital projects completed in addition to the day-to-day technology operations. Some of the bigger projects include bringing fiber optic internet service to our public schools, upgrading the network infrastructure and Wi-Fi in the school department, town hall, and Parting Ways Annex, establishing a one-to-one Chromebook program for our students, upgrading the school and town phone systems and landlines, the addition of a full electronic time clock system in town, and being recognized as a cyber-aware community. Those are just a few of the many projects completed over the years. Please know that until the new technology director is hired, I am confident the technology team in the schools, as well as town hall staff, will continue operations as normal. I will, of course, be available should the needs arise to assist with any technology need in the coming weeks. I would be remiss to not acknowledge the hard work and dedication of Ms. Kathy Shabbat, Ms. Kathleen Boren, and Mr. Ken Pamplona in the school department. In addition, I would like to thank Mr. Nicholas Monticello in the town hall for his hard work with our cable program. I will always be grateful for the opportunity to serve the town of Acushnet. Respectfully, Chris Oliver. And Chris, very nice letter that you've submitted here, acknowledging your work and people around you. And I'd like to say good luck in the future ventures.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, same, Chris Oliver is a great public servant. He did a great job for the schools, great job for us at Town Hall. I know he's really active in his home community at Dartmouth. Just a really good, solid guy. Hate to see him go. I do want to take the opportunity to, I think this warrants further discussion about the shared service business model that we have with the school on our IT situation. And I think we might want to consider at least study it to have our own person dealing with town hall. Because if we're in a situation where we follow this business model again, and it's, school department employee, if there are issues, we're consistently at the whim of the school department. And I just think it might be better for us to go about it on our own. At least that's how I feel right now.
Well, that is something to consider because I believe it was split up about 80-20.
Right.
So we were getting the IT staffer here a couple half days a week.
Right.
At different times.
So, or, whether it's an in-house person, maybe it's, subcontracted, somebody come in, we're not paying pennies or whatever, but, I do think we should look at our own being self-sufficient.
Independent of the school committee. The school department, I should say. Very good. All right, next on new business is Lakeville Animal Shelter Agreement. Review of matters. Let me just read this. I got this right here in front of me.
So it's pretty much the same as it has been for a long time. They only did change, they did add, where are we?
Increasing the boarding rate from $15 a day
Yes.
for a dog to $25 a day for a
I
dog.
did talk to Becky about it, because she hasn't, she's been out, so, she said she has enough, because she charges the resident the extra 10, so she's fine with going to the 25, right?
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I did talk to her and asked her some
Motion to
questions.
approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. And then under new business, we have discussion, South Main Street. As you know, as you may not know out there, South Main Street is controlled by the state of Massachusetts, from Town Hall to the Fairhaven line. And there's been discussions in the past and currently as options for the town to consider to take the road over, take it out of the state. My understanding, I had a quick meeting with Town Administrator Julie and the DOT, and we have different options we could take. We could take the road with a cash payment from the DOT, and that would estimate to take the time about a year and say 12 to 15 months to do it that way. We could also take the road with the Department of Transportation performing all the improvements ahead of time, and that's gonna push us out to over 2 years, in that 2-year range. Now, if they wanna do, one of the situations we have is if we wanna do any kind of utility work, the town wants to do any kind of utility work on South Main Street, there's a 6 to 9 month period just to get the permits to do the work. So that's what I think is a very good factor in why we, might want to take the road over. So, those are the options that they meant. So it was like, do utility work, 6 to 9 months to get the approved DOT permits, then take over the road from DOT with either cash or payment, or DOT performing all the work. And then DOT performing all the work before they handed it over to us is a long period, over 4 years. So,
Mr. Chairman, I do think it's worth exploring. You don't have to commit to anything, and obviously it's going to require a town meeting approval. But in discussions with some of the key leadership at District 5, I do know that they're doing some really beautiful work, design work, and that might be something that I think we should at least have discussions with Mass Highway. It doesn't have to we don't have to take the road over tomorrow. I mean, this should be a over the horizon project, but the one thing that's the real motivation, I think, is by us owning the road, we would have more control over, I think, the PJ Keating situation and the truck traffic there. That's something to consider as well, but I think what Mass Highway is looking for is some formal note from the Board of Selectmen asking to engage in conversation with DOT in a more formal way.
exactly.
And then we can assess the risks and the pros and cons, and if we think it makes sense to bring to town meeting, then we should. If we don't think it's worth doing. I do know this, that conventional wisdom is that they would just walk away from plowing and things of that nature, but I think we might want to consider talking about that as well.
As part of the negotiations. Yes.
Right, for sure. I think what I understand, it's really, there's a great deal of incentive for Mass Highway to start getting rid of these assets, and so I think it's worthwhile. So.
Very good. Mr. Gaspar?
Yeah, I'm interested in listening to any proposal. I know that we've 3 or 4 years ago I engaged with District 5, a group of individuals from District 5, Mr. Noble, when it came to some street signage things over here. We sat right here in this room, and I know that back then there was some dialogue over us taking that road over, and it was an interest of mine back then, 3 or 4 years ago. The problem with it is the price tag that was put on it, $1.5 to $2 million to redo the road, raise the curb instead of proper heights and sidewalks and things of that nature. So I mean, it doesn't hurt to get engaged and involved in some discussion with District 5, but what does the cash payment look like? What are the terms of that deal? DOT doing all the improvements before they do it. I would want to be using taxpayer dollars or the opera money for a road that we haven't necessarily owned for any period of time. I think we got enough infrastructure problems for that op money to be dedicated to. So I think, depending on the terms of the agreement from District 5, what it looks like for the taxpayers of Acushnet, right? That's a sales pitch that we'll have to make at town meeting if there's something that this board feels is in the best interest of the community by taking that road over. There are some additional costs, as Mr. Warner mentioned, snow plowing and sanding and things of the like that are reoccurring every year, so that's something that we would consider before just taking the road over. And what kind of an agreement can we get out of the District 5? I'd make a motion to put Selectman Warner in charge of getting a hold of District 5 and maybe engaging in that dialogue with District 5 now. Start that conversation going.
Happy to do it.
All right, very good. Let's second that motion.
All right.
Okay.
Very good.
Thanks.
Right, so I think the next step,
I'll work with Julie on a letter from the board that we can all sign, and then
Mhm.
that'll kick things off.
very good.
There you go.
Get that initiated. Okay, very good. Any selectmen announcements we have tonight?
Yeah.
Yes, fine, okay, we're all set
No
with that.
holidays yet.
No, not yet. Information only. Once again, the following boards and commissions have vacancies. I'd like to also just follow up on what we talked about last week, because we did receive an email from council concerning the
Moderator.
town moderator's position. The person who applied is on.
Had interest in it, yeah?
Is on the ZBA, and that's not gonna be possible for that person to hold both positions. They would have to remove themselves from the ZBA and take the town moderator's position, or they would have to, or they're not the town moderator, they can't accept that position.
So we did it conclude anything about how that, we have the right, obviously, we should have the right in this circumstance to appoint, but I know it said something about it's an elected position, so what happened? I mean, you would have to call a special election just for a town moderator?
If we could get somebody that was not, like, on another board. So if we could get somebody to say,
Yeah.
I
so-
would be willing, and then the board itself, along with the planning board, could hold a joint meeting, and then we could appoint for that particular time till the election.
Not
But,
the planning board, for the town moderator.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the joint
meeting,
meeting.
yeah.
Right.
But yeah,
The
so,
elections now are after town meeting, correct?
Correct.
So I would ask, maybe we could add, so it would be something that somebody would run for this fall, this spring. But maybe we ask the previous, not Mr. Cabral, because he lives in Dartmouth, but maybe Nick Gomes,
Gomes.
just to at least, preside over this one town meeting.
Yeah.
And then the position will be elected, somebody who wants it will then have it, and then can take the position on it. We just would need his service for one night.
Yeah, I could surely call Nicholas, I have his phone number.
That'd be good.
I've known the family many years, so I could call him up and ask him if he'd be interested in, to serve in the board's request for
One night.
One night.
One night?
He's a good guy, so
Well,
as
very
long
good
as
then.
he's still a resident.
Okay.
Right? Who knows nowadays, the way people are moving around, work from anywhere.
Okay, these following boards and commissions have vacancies. The Agricultural Commission has 2 alternate vacancies. The Beautification Committee has 7 vacancies. The Community Preservation Committee, 1 Housing Authority vacancy, 1 residential vacancy. Cultural Council has 13 vacancies, and the Open Space Committee has 1 vacancy. Anyone interested would submit a letter of interest to Lisa Leonard in the Select Board's office. Gentlemen, future business, Selectmen's meeting. I think there was a discussion on the dates, but I believe the next meeting is Tuesday, December 14th, 2021 at 4 p.m.
The good news is I'll be able to meet it, because my son's birthday is December 14th, but he'll be in San Diego, so not a problem.
Right in the weather. So,
Hopefully.
Why don't we go out there for the meeting?
Yeah, let's do it.
Gentlemen, I'm going to adjourn to executive session under General Law, Chapter 30A, subsection 21A2, to discuss strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct negotiations with non-union personnel if any open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the position of the public body, and the chair so declares, and the board will not return to public session. Review of matters presented, votes may be taken. Roll call vote, Mr. Warner.
Yes.
Roll call vote, Mr. Gaspar.
I am a yes.
And I am a yes also. We will be adjourning to executive session, not to return to public session. Thank you very much, everyone.